Good morning. Welcome to tea time. It's Friday, April 24th. And you know what that means? Today is? Today is Senior Ditch Day. That's right, Senior Ditch Day. And instead of moping around that you're not at school so you can skip school, I have a proposition for you. So I realize not a lot of you are watching tea time. So if you're watching, you're going to get a bonus. So you get to ditch today. Mr. Wilson, pre-calculus students, Mr. Wilson is posting a video for today's homework. And calculus students, I posted your quiz yesterday. So technically, I don't have anything for you today, new. But so if you would like to participate in Senior Ditch Day, the only way I can do that, help you do that, is I'm going to allow you to skip one of the homeworks on the chart for conic sections for pre-calc. And for calculus students, you don't really have anything. I guess you could skip one of the pages on the packet I gave you that's due in a couple days. Yeah, you could do the same thing. So here's what you'll do. On the chart, on the homework you're choosing not to do, I just want you to write in big letters, big red letters, Senior Ditch. And tell your parents that you still get 2 points for that. That's the best I can do for you. I feel like we should all congregate at school. Like on Senior Ditch Day, we should go to school. But nobody's going to let us do that. So I feel like I had my Senior Ditch Day yesterday. I've been struggling, not doing great with all this closure, quarantine. And I just kind of crawled into a cocoon and kept to myself. And Mr. Wilson came looking for me. And then I ended up going to his office hours yesterday and helping a student, which was really good for me. Oh, it's good to do math. I don't get to do math with kids. Even in my office hours, we just chit chat. We don't actually do math. Every once in a while, Cole shows up and we do math. But yeah, I didn't realize how much I miss the students. Oh, I miss you like crazy, but I miss the math. I miss interacting and doing math with you because doing math by myself is not quite the same. So anyway, I had Senior Ditch Day yesterday. No office hours, no tea time. I just kept to myself. Anyway, so also I promised that I would tell stories of my senior prom, because the reason today is Senior Ditch Day is because tomorrow would have been prom. So I'm going to show you a picture, and oh my goodness, well, nobody hardly anybody's watching this, so I think I'm feeling pretty good. But this is Miss Martinez. Oh, it shows up better than I realized it would. Oh, that's me, senior prom with Mark Anderson. Yes. And it's ironic because you know what? Mark Anderson grew up to become a math teacher too. Isn't that funny? 2 math teachers. And no, we weren't dating, but I do have a funny story. So I met Mark Anderson when I was in the 2nd grade. We had Miss Everest together in the 2nd grade. And we rode the same bus, I think, for most of our schooling years because we kind of lived out in the same general area. Anyway, so I wouldn't say we were super close friends, but we were definitely friends, like acquaintance kind of friends. And our senior year, there's 2 boys in my class that were the most popular boys in school, Clint Beck and Joe Beeston. And Joe Beeston had asked one of my friends, Tracy, to prom really early, like 4 or 5 months early. And they weren't dating, but it was like Joe Beeston, who's going to say no to him? So in the meantime, Tracy and Mark started to date. And so by the time senior prom happened, I think Tracy and Mark had been dating about 3 weeks before prom. They started dating about 3 weeks before prom, but she already had a date to prom. So Mark wasn't going to be able to take her to prom. I was the nerdy girl who didn't have a date. I was going to be one of those kids who don't go to prom. I was pretty sure that was going to be me, which is not a bad thing. It's just a dance. It's not that big a deal. But the week before prom, Mark asked me to prom. I think him and Tracy had a plan, like, oh, why don't you just ask Tony to prom and then you guys can all go still. And we went with a big group. I don't think Tracy and Joe were in our group though. we went with a different group. Joe didn't have a crush on Tracy or anything. I don't know what the deal was there, but yeah, Tracy got to go to prom with Joe Beeston, and I went to prom with her boyfriend. And it was a week before the actual dance, and I don't know if I just didn't even attempt to go shopping for a dress. I don't know. My aunt made all my niece or my cousin's dresses, but you know what? Now that I think about it, my cousin was younger than me, so she wouldn't have started doing that dressmaking business yet because I was in high school. She was only in junior high. So yeah, so I didn't go out shopping for a dress. Don't even remember. We went to a rental place. I rented my dress. It's pretty ugly. So yeah, I rented my dress. I think the gloves and everything. And Mark and I went to prom together. And I remember he picked me up. His parents were going through a divorce. And so his mom and his dad lived at different houses. And so he picked me up at my house. And then we had to go to his mom's house, which was farther away from where I lived, to take pictures. So we took pictures at my house, then we took pictures at his mom's house, and then we met the big group for dinner. We went to Latitude 47 on Elliott Bay. Not Elliott Bay, on Lake Union in downtown Seattle. And then prom was at a kind of a fancy hall in downtown Seattle. And it was fun. We had a good time. And when we got there, Tracy and Joe were obviously there. And of course, I expected Mark to dance with Tracy. That would have been weird if they hadn't. But one of my friends maybe had some beverages before she got to prom. And she was a little obnoxious, to say the least. And she kept making a really big deal about Tracy and Mark dancing and really embarrassed me. Like, of course, I knew Tracy and Mark were going to dance. I had no expectation for that not to happen. I was surprised, actually, we didn't go to dinner with Tracy and Joe. That would have made sense to me. I would have been fine with that. I was friends with Joe. It wouldn't have been weird. But we didn't. We went with another group. Tracy and Joe were in another group. And then Mark was actually really good because he danced all the fast dances with me, and then he would dance the slow dances with Tracy, which I thought that was pretty kind of him to still pay attention to me, even though his girlfriend was there. So I had a good time. And then after prom, there's always the after prom. So one of Mark's best friends was my neighbor, Andy Christensen. And so Andy Christensen was throwing a party at his house. Now, you also have to know I'm the girl who didn't drink. Still the girl who doesn't drink. Alhamdulillah. So it was really nice that this party was in my neighborhood. So Mark and I showed up to the party. I believe the person who was being obnoxious at prom was there continuing to be obnoxious. And I hung out for a little while. Then Mark just drove me down the street to my house, and then he went back up. If I remember correctly, that was a very long time ago. 1987. How many years ago is that? 33? Yeah, 33 years ago is my senior prom. Yep. And I remember one of the girls, she showed up to prom with this like 40-year-old man. And I remember us all thinking it was scandalous. And now I think back and think, what's a 40-year-old man doing at prom? Like, what an idiot. That's just awkward. Anyway, that's me. That's my prom story. So yeah, prom wasn't all that like super special. It was just prom. But yeah, it was fun. We danced. It was fun. I think I've had more fun chaperoning prom in the recent years, ever since I started teaching high school in Queen Creek. 3 years in Queen Creek, and the last 2 years at Desert Ridge, I chaperoned prom. And us teachers have quite fun. We go out to dinner on our way to prom also. And then it's just fun seeing you guys all dressed up, and it's just fun. And the last 2 years I worked the gate, so I got to see you as you came in. And I would get in trouble because Miss McCallum would be like, Martina, stop hugging everybody. Yeah. And then we would just wander around because, you're all pretty much on your best behavior at prom. And if you're not, you're doing that outside of prom. So don't have a lot of problems. Well, we do have problems with people having had things they shouldn't have had. And then it always seems to bite them in the butt. They either get kicked out or they would get so sick that they weren't having that much fun anyway. So, and I'm not going to lie, when I see somebody inebriated throwing up their guts, I just think, that's what you get. So I don't feel sorry for you, not even a little bit, because you know what? When you drink poison, you throw up. Don't get me started. Okay, so yeah, that's all I have for my prom. My prom, you got my prom story. Oh my God, it's 10 minutes in. Also today, mashallah, today is the first day of Ramadan. So if any of you are Muslim, which I'm pretty sure none of you are, but if anybody who shares my faith is watching, Ramadan Mubarak. And may you have a strong and healthy and strengthen your iman during this beautiful, beautiful month. There's a really good chance I'm going to talk about Ramadan on Tea Time Weekend Edition. I promised I would do prom today, though, because today's Senior Ditch Day. Senior Ditch Day, skip a homework, write Senior Ditch on it. Take the day off. Okay, guys, have a wonderful Friday. Also, oh my gosh, I got my first senior announcement in the mail. I think I better put my address up again. This is the most exciting mail I've ever got. So please, please, please send me, I need to send a message out. Please, oh, please send me your senior announcements, your grad announcements. I would love them. I need them. Oh my goodness, I need them for my wall. I cannot start school in the fall without your announcements on my wall. My heart will break. My heart will break. Okay, sorry, so long. But have a great Friday, and I will see you in office hours. I'm not ditching today. I ditched yesterday. So, and I shortened office hours because nobody's coming to do math. So, and nobody's even coming to say hi. So a couple people, Joseph and Keegan. I like to chit chat with you, and it's good. But I don't want to take up your time either. So, so come say hi, or ask me questions about math, or whatever. I'll see you later. Miss you guys like crazy.